they have never been in any area or any field where females are even equal. You
Yeah,
don't demand respect, you command respect. It's a message to all women entrepreneurs, maybe who are watching the channel,
sure.
that you are way more strong than even you think you are.
Uh,
Okay, because yeah, I am almost entering my ninth month of pregnancy, and I am still visiting sites. Yeah, please subscribe to this if you want to hear more about entrepreneurship. I think you are doing a great job. People don't learn this in colleges.
hmm.
If they are getting a first-hand experience from people who are starting or who are established, it's a great opportunity for everyone. So please.
Hi, Shivali. Welcome to Chat with Champions. Okay, so let me actually, I told you before also, let me just re-inform you that what is this show. This is a completely candid show. We'll basically discuss about business, core business in general, about how to start and how
Mhm.
to, how difficulty and entrepreneur face in their this journey and all
Yeah.
this thing. Because basic TG of this show is somebody who is an aspiring entrepreneur or somebody who is in very early stage of running a business. They want to,
Mhm.
get acquaintance with those kind of problem which you have already faced. They don't want to repeat it or something. The
Yes.
journey, like a lot of people also love to listen to this journey and everything. So before, like
Mhm.
in general, I start with how was your schooling time? Were you a scholar? Were you an average student? I generally start with that. But
Okay.
I just want to start with something which is currently going on in my mind. Okay. 2 days back, I have put my resignation in my office to start full-time business. I was parallelly
Okay.
working on this business for a year or something. A pilot project was going on. It's related to apparel. The name is Founders Attack.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I'm now like going 100%. So when I put down my resignation,
Congratulations.
thank you so much, man. So will
First of all,
uh,
congratulations. Yeah.
thank you so much. So like first thing which came into my mind when I called my manager and I like put down my resignation, then it was like a kind of an anxious moment for me. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
how will I do it? Like I'm pretty confident about about the business model, about the money, the cash burn will happen, the acquisition cost and customer and TJ and everything I'm very clear about. But that anxious moment is always there when you put down your letters and then you feel like no, now you are like
Yes.
कि month end में salary नहीं आने वाली. ठीक है.
I know that feeling very well.
Yeah, so just
I
I
can
just want
surely
to
relate to you on this one.
I just want to start discussing from there only. Okay, so did you face similar kind of moment when you were working in Goldman Sachs and then when you left it?
Yes.
How was that moment and how did you handle it with the best of your capability?
Yeah. So as you said the name of the firm itself, right? So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
level of the job, like the
sure.
kind of work culture, the kind of well established, well paid job that I had to leave. So I had to take a very 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 hard decision on this one. That situation is always very tricky. So you always have your doubts, and I don't think those doubts can go away. There is no way that those doubts will ever go away. Whoever is quitting a job and then starting into a new business.
Okay.
But I had my mentors. I mean, I had certain group of people. I call them my inner circle. So I have certain group of people who will always support
Mm-hmm.
no matter what.
Sure.
Maybe you would have also faced the
Definitely,
same thing,
definitely.
that
Yeah.
someone, yeah, while most of them will say no, don't do it, but there will always be some people,
Mm.
right, who will trust in you maybe more than you do. So always, yeah, I feel that is something that I had at that time. And although everyone there in my company, they wanted me to stay, so they tried. And but then some of them, they said they understood that okay, I want to maybe explore more, and it's already been a tough decision. So rather than adding to the decision making, adding to the toughness of that decision, they
uh,
told me that, you go for it. What will happen? You just go for it. And this
yeah,
company is anyways there. I mean, not that company, even many companies are there anyways that I can
sure,
fall back to if anything goes wrong. Right. So
100%.
yeah, so this is how it was. Yeah. So one of I still remember one of the persons who became my client also later on in the very beginning stage. She was my one of the first clients. So she told me at that time that, see, you don't have that many responsibilities, that you can't take this decision now. And if you always have wanted to do this, you do this. There is never a right time, a wrong time, right age, wrong age, but you just do it. And if you fail, you
Sure.
at least will be happy knowing, that you tried. You tried and you failed. So I would have done if I would have just continued with the happy with the salary that I've been getting every month,
So
every
that is the first thing. Like from last
yeah.
year, I was actually thinking, when should I do it? When should I do it? And then October, November, I finally figured it out. Ki, okay, this is the month where I'll be having enough money in my account to continue a
Yes.
business for a considerable amount of time. To like for a, initially it is a surviving life, like surviving period. Then once you cross that time, then it's scale and profitability and a lot of things come in. But initially, it's all about the survival plan.
Correct.
So I was pretty sure that okay, May 1st or somewhere close to May, I'll be pretty much having that amount of money. That even
Yes.
after putting a good amount of money in my for running a business, I'll be left with a lot of money, so that I shouldn't fall back to zero. Okay, so
Yes.
that kind of very calculated decision was there, but still with all caps, when you have to put that resignation now, uh, like a lot of people you talk to somebody exactly what you said, like somebody will say ki, it's a good decision, great decision, man, it's gonna change your life. Somebody will say ki, dude, think about it, at least
Yes.
give it a second thought. And for
Yes.
them I feel like, do you seriously think ki I haven't thought about it? Seriously, means I am
Yeah.
leaving my
Yeah.
job, a well paid job
Yes.
I'm leaving, then definitely I've thought about it. Now I'm thinking from like 2 3 years,
Yeah.
dude. So it's like a moment for me. Like it's a completely different experience. You can only relate with, or somebody who has done that you can relate with. How do you feel
Yes.
like?
Yes.
Uh, like that's it. That's it. Wala moment exactly. Okay, okay, now you're completely on your own.
Yeah.
So that's
Actually,
how.
yeah.
Yeah, please
Actually,
continue.
during my college, also my postgrad in construction management. Yeah. So I was talking about actually. So in my college time, in during my construction management,
Hmm.
so there was a professor who was visiting faculty about the soft skills.
Okay.
So he asked one question once that, who want to become an entrepreneur, let's say. So some of us, yes, we raised our hands, and he said, okay, so after this, so you don't want placement, that means, because most of the people are coming for placements, you don't want. So I said, no, I have my plan. I don't want to directly, start up the business. First, I want to have exposure. Of course, what you said, financial aspect is extremely important. I
100%.
know if you do a startup or business, maybe for the first year, you should think it will be zero salary for you,
100%.
right? So but you still have to pay your bills, you still have to manage everything around. So yes, so that's why I want to have a job. Of course I want to have a job, and then let's see how, sometimes you have to just go with the flow and see where life takes you. But he was adamant on it. No, you don't need to have a plan. So there was lots of stories also that he told us, that there was
Mhm.
someone of a maid's son who, he didn't have anything to fall back to,
Okay.
but still he immediately started his business as soon as, he
Mhm.
did his 10 12th, and immediately started his business, and now he's doing really well. So I think it's yeah, it's everyone's different cup of tea, right? Someone may some people may think that okay, we can just start without a financial planning in place or
Hmm.
anything else in place. We can just start the business.
I
But I
believe,
still feel,
yeah,
yeah,
agree. I agree, completely agree with you. I just wanted to say on that point that yeah, it completely depends on business to business firstly and person to person
yes,
also. Like a lot of
yes,
business need lot of capital in the starting time, and lot need a very lesser capital to start with. It depends on business to
yeah,
business also, and plus see see basically a lot of people can say that this could be one of the excuse, like I don't have money to start with, I don't have time to start with.
mm,
But this is genuinely important also, means you need money. If somebody saying I
yes,
don't have money, that is a genuine problem. Okay, you take your time, earn something, get a good job, get a good saving, take it from saving to current account, build some capital to start with. That is also a
yes,
lot of things are there. But what I'll tell you, what I have figured it out. Okay, this maybe applies to me only. I won't
mm-hmm,
ask anybody to apply in their life, but this is what applies to me. If I would be thrown in a certain situation now, okay,
mm-hmm,
your job is gone. Okay, now you have to
mm-hmm,
figure it out how you learn. I'll do something out of it. Okay,
yes,
I feel my brain. I'm not sure if it's a kind of generic thing. My brain is designed in such a way that if I if I'll be like thinking what will I do, I won't be able to figure it out. Other than that, if I'll be thrown into such situation, okay, this is it.
yes,
Do something.
yes,
I'll do it.
yes,
I'll get out of it. I'll get out of that situation very easily. So that's what works for
yeah,
me. And maybe that could be one of the way, but I would strongly not suggest to apply it because it depends on business to business. See, mine is
yeah,
kind of apparel, but still it needs lakhs of rupees to start with, because you need a
mm-hmm,
marketing budget, you need like to purchase the inventory you're going to purchase. For that, you need money. For your survival, you need to spend every month lot of things. We are paying for
yes,
Shopify's cost also. That also you need to calculate, man. I know it's 3,000 only, but still you need to calculate it
yeah,
because
you
this
need to, yes,
small amount like creates a big difference. So that is what I wanted to say. You were saying anything else also. I actually wanted to answer
yeah,
that point. It depends on business to business. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it does. And as you said about person to person as well,
Sure.
how much risk taking appetite you have.
Hmm. Correct.
Sometimes you have a good family background to support you.
Agree. 100%.
Sometimes, yeah, like I have my partner who's working, who's having this job. It's a
Hmm.
well established job, so yes, that was another thing that added to the ease of taking this decision. That
Hmm.
always, yes, although I have earned, but still, even if I go out of money, I won't be bankrupt,
Yeah.
right? I can still sustain.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so
So
yeah.
exactly. So for me, 100% agree with you. Firstly, that person to person. But for me, it's all about I'm a number guy. Okay. For
Yes.
example, you can give me an idea. I might not be convinced, but if you say with numbers, and numbers, I'll be like, let's do it. Okay, I'm a number
Hmm.
guy. You have to say what's the net gonna go, what's the gross gonna go, what's the capital
Yeah.
needed, what's the marketing cost, what the acquisition cost. If you say all these things very specifically with fixed numbers, I'll be like, I'm in.
Hmm.
I'm coming in. I'll do it.
Hmm.
Okay. Other than that, if you say it's a wonderful idea, it's an opportunity, you see that's a
Yeah.
CAGR of 10.5% next 10 years, or if you see that yeah, this is the industry which is going, dude, doesn't work for me until unless are you
Yeah.
knowledgeable enough to do it. Industry is great,
Hmm.
any industry is great, but
Yeah.
are you
Yes.
eligible for that particular industry or not? That's what matters. So a lot of
Yeah.
things are there, lot of things are currently going on in my mind. Because just 2 days back, honestly, just 2 days back, I did my little, and I'm completely like thinking about everything. Even the vendor I purchased the product from, I called him twice. He's like, भैया relax man, it's okay. I was like ये time पे आ जाएगा ना, time पे हो जाएगा ना, please आप ऐसा मत करो. He's like chill dude, chill होगा.
Yeah.
And I'm doing for 10 years, chill.
Yes.
I was like okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's the
cool.
starting era. Yeah, that is how it is. That is how it is supposed to be.
Yeah, so kind of that anxious plus excited plus
Yeah.
super happy plus maybe may not be lot of things are like in the eyes, but you have to focus on it. Yeah, just leave everything
Yes.
aside, just focus on what you
Yes.
have planned to do it in the very
Yes.
calculative way, what you have actually planned when you are in relaxed mind state. Okay, so then what you have
Yeah.
planned, do
Yeah.
it exactly. Don't think about anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Believe in it. That's what basically you're saying.
Correct,
That believe in it.
correct,
Believe in
correct.
yourself.
So enough of my moment. So let's come to your business, Wellcraft. Let's
Yeah.
can you start with explaining what is this business all about? How did you come up with this idea? Why this name? And also, how did you figure it out? Ki what is the space where I can go in so that I can create some kind of disruption in the already existing market? How did you go with that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just give a bit of background to, actually it dates back to my childhood.
Okay.
So I'm born in a family of civil engineers, and so my father has had a business. He still
Mhm.
has the business
Mhm.
of, he's a government contractor.
Okay.
So I grew up seeing those, at those times there used to be those blueprint drawings,
Okay.
not
Okay.
what we have
Okay.
in this digital age. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was something on a blue paper, maybe you would have seen or not, I'm not sure.
I
But
think I've seen. I think
those
I've seen. Yeah.
yeah, so whenever he used to get a new tender or something, that was the first thing that used to come to our house. And
Mhm.
it was all over the dining table. It was the starting of his business also.
Mhm.
So it was all over the dining table. That's how an entrepreneur's home is actually.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's everything all over the place.
Mm.
So I used to, that used to be the most exciting part. I don't know why. So
Okay.
I had to just open up those drawings and see, okay, and figure out, okay, what is the, at that age, I mean, I was maybe 5 or 6 at that time. And at that age, this thing started fascinating me somehow,
Okay.
with all this with all these drawings. And then I used to go on site also with him. So although construction sites are not supposed to be safe for children, so I
Mhm.
was not allowed inside, but most of the times I was playing outside. And so I never had the problem of this dust, sun, or anything, which is, which is very much a part of this business, construction
Agree.
business.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is how my interest in this construction field, it developed over the time. And I somehow knew that, okay, I like, this is what I have to do. So for most of the people these days also, even during the time when I did my engineering, taking up civil engineering,
Mhm.
it's not a matter of choice. Not just civil engineering, I would say core branches, which were civil, mechanical, and electrical.
Sure.
These somehow have taken a back seat since this
Mhm.
software resolution, this revolution came up.
Sure.
So so it's not a matter of choice. It's
Mm.
just a matter of availability of a seat, and they
Mm.
get into that field. And ultimately, as I said, with the many core branches, and ultimately they go into the IT or software industry. But for me, this has always been a matter of choice.
Mm.
So I always wanted to be in civil engineering. I always wanted to, do something related to this field.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's how somehow the way was, carved. That okay, I took civil, then I did. I had another. I mean, during the placements, the very first placements, exciting times in any of students' lives.
Mm.
So after the graduation, I got a chance. I got placed in a company which is an architect-led firm. Although I was a civil engineer, it was an architect-led firm.
Mm.
And that firm, it's called Total Environment. It's based in Bangalore itself.
Okay.
And they are into very niche spaces. And you know some things that they taught me, which are still with me, is like client
Okay.
focus on client delight, and
Mm.
all those things. So I got a chance, although I was into more into project management part of it.
Mm.
But slowly I got a chance to see how the architects are working, how
Okay.
the the founder of that firm is a very well established architect, and he was all of our idol at that
Mm.
time. So how he's working, how he's doing, and how he also started business from scratch, just like my father. And somehow this was all an inspiration for me.
Mm.
And then slowly I thought, okay, it's time to upskill myself. And I went for construction management.
Okay.
So again, the same field. I didn't go for MBA, although some of
Mm.
the, as I said, I always had some mentors in my life in the
Sure.
company also or outside also. So some people told me that you are good in management skills,
Mm-hmm.
like those people at CEO positions and all. They have somehow identified that I'm good at the management skills and I should polish my management skills. So I had options of doing MBA or something like in finance from ISB and all that.
Mm-hmm.
My grades were good in college,
Great.
but yeah, still I felt no, I won't. I don't want to change the field. That was never the intention, right? Why I'm getting distracted now? So
Mm.
then I came across this field, which was a mixture of construction
Okay.
and management. So it's a techno managerial post graduation program. So
Mm.
that's why I finally went to this program. And after going through that program, I was somehow recruited in, like, Goldman Sachs was one of the first companies to be visiting the college for internship,
Okay.
and they were known to give pre-placement offers as well.
Mm.
So again, I had a doubt. It's an investment bank. Should I even sit for it?
Okay.
Why I'm sitting for an investment bank? I mean, my that's not my field of interest, right?
Mm.
So I had before even knowing what why they were there for. Like, I was just knowing that the company is coming, and should I even apply for it?
Sure.
So yeah. So again, I checked with one of my mentors, and they
Mm-hmm.
said that you know you just sit for the company. You don't even think about it
Okay.
twice. But still, I, being me, couldn't, like you said, that you are also a person who goes into numbers. So I am a person who goes into
Wonderful.
analysis.
Uh,
Before doing any good analysis, I will not arrive to a decision.
mm.
So yeah, so still I sat for the pre-placement talks and all. Then the company came to campus. So then also I asked this question, even in the pre-placement talk. Generally, students are, they fear to ask such questions. They don't want the company. They feel that that's the very first impression they are making on the team who has come for recruitment.
Mm.
But I, being me, I couldn't help myself, and I asked them, "Why are you recruiting us? I mean, this is a construction management college."
Mm.
Uh, yeah, of course, I put it in a little sugar-coated words, but the
Got it.
aim was asking, "Why are you recruiting us?"
Mm.
So yes, I got the answer that this was mainly for their new office campus that
Okay.
is coming up in Bangalore.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it
Okay.
was related to the field.
Okay.
So first tick mark, okay, fine, I'll sit for the company. It's
Sure.
related to the field. And but then next question, again I asked them, the what happens when that office is completed?
Mm.
You know, you're
Correct.
recruiting us for one office and you're
Yeah.
recruiting for a full-time employee. It's not a contract employment.
Correct.
What
Correct.
happens after that? Yeah. So they said, no, any company needs offices, facilities, there are lots of things.
Okay.
Actually, by that time I didn't know that, okay, almost every corporate company, they have their own real estate team. They
Okay.
have to have, right? This is the basic requirement.
100%.
Civil, mechanical, electrical, all the people are not taking these branches out
Uh-huh.
of choice, but these are the basic requirements for any company. These are the core fields for a reason.
Sure.
So yeah, so that's the reason. Okay, I finally got through it, and I was recruited for the company. And there again, I had a chance to work with world class architects. So of course, it's being what it is. So they had recruited world class architects to for the building as consultants, as
Mm.
different, you know, for there was a different consultant for every single thing.
Sure.
So not only, for the building, how the outer look of building will be, how the inner look of the building will be, how if it's a child care, so they had a special child care consultant. So it was up to that extent. So
Mm.
I was into managing the, I mean, of course, with the help of my managers and all, I was into managing the special places like childcare gym. Every corporate office has that childcare gym and a big kitchen. Kitchen
Mm.
is a very complicated task when it comes to manage a kitchen. Lots of things are there in the kitchen, right? It has to be safe first of all.
Mm.
fire, from fire perspective. Then there are lots of packages were there in the kitchen. All the electrical points, how some equipment is working on electricity, some is manual, some are tandoors. So
Mm.
lots of things about a kitchen. So it was a
Mm.
complex task, and I especially asked for it from my
Okay.
manager that no, I want to do it. It's complex. I want to do it because when you have complex tasks in hand, when
Sure.
you have challenges,
Sure.
only then you are going to learn new things, right? So
100%. Yeah.
yeah, so I've more been into learning
Mm-hmm.
from the childhood actually.
Great.
So yes, I wanted to learn more and more. So
Mm.
that's the reason I asked for things like this, and slowly I was given all the complex things because
Mm.
they knew I could handle it,
Mm.
and I was being given the at the ground level. So
Mm-hmm.
I was the person, that was being given all the complex things to handle. But that that developed more of my interest in interiors. In As I said, I was working with these world class architects, so I was working on the specialized spaces. So there were lots of consultants that were involved.
Mm.
So managing different kind of people, or being responsible to the client, internal client. We had internal clients like HR team is the internal client for these specialized spaces like gym, childcare, healthcare, etc.
Okay.
So being responsible to a client,
Okay.
directly speaking with them. So uh, so all these things, they added to, of course, my knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
And I just aimed to be higher and higher. I As I said, I was
Okay.
getting this energy from learning. So I wanted to learn more and more.
Mm.
So that's how, when I finally put down the papers and thought, okay, I'll start my own.
Okay.
Now my idea of starting was
Mm-hmm.
not into interior designing,
Okay.
to be frank. So my idea was uh, to do something similar to what my father was doing in the north,
Okay.
government contracting,
Okay.
tenders.
Sure.
But then someone questioned me, saying that I don't know how much you are aware about the government contracting system or tender system. It's mostly the tender is given to someone who
Mm.
comes with the lowest price.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. That is it.
It's called L1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just give it to the L1 vendor, whoever is
Okay.
quoting the lowest. So
Okay.
quality and all does not, it does not
Criteria.
matter that much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not, it's never a criteria. Your
Okay.
branding is never a criteria.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's the I think that's a very basic business. That
Mm.
okay, you're doing something, you're earning money.
Okay. Okay.
But I wanted to earn more than just money. Money,
Mm.
I was in a well-paid job, right?
Sure.
Well-established job.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, so somehow I had to pivot to
Mm.
another idea that actually just came in my way.
Okay.
So some acquaintance, some CEO of another company, they knew that I was working in GS, and somehow they knew that I can do
Okay.
space planning, and slowly they gave. In Bangalore is a city of startups, so they had two more floors coming up. So they just gave me two floors, like ground and first floor. They said, okay, you just do the space planning for us and
Okay.
design it.
Okay.
So it just came by matter of chance, that even I didn't know I had the capability, because normally architects do this.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So about the colors, about the space, understanding about everything.
Okay.
But I don't know. I still don't know how I had done it, how I did it. So I did it not only space planning. I went there. I got the project completed. I got vendors for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take the whole work on myself. Normally, how it happens in our field is a contract is given to the interior designer, and then they do end to end. That
Sure.
what we are doing right now. But I didn't do it at that stage. So it was just overview, managing, and consulting. But still, I was there every day.
Okay.
To I was not supposed to be there every day, but I was there every day and seeing each and everything, right from the lights to the carpet to what is coming over there. So each and everything I had to experience myself. And that's why I think I had always taken civil engineering, right? Because I know what is on the drawing, a piece of paper, and how
Sure.
it is crafted to a reality.
To a reality. Correct. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Understood.
slowly then I started understanding the gaps in the market.
Okay.
So there were lots of gaps, especially in the residential market. So why this project was given to me by a startup, because they trusted me.
Okay.
So there is somehow a lack of trust in this field. So there's a lack of transparency in this field. So especially, let's say it's your home. You
Okay.
want to, you just got a home from builder. They give you bare walls, bare shells,
Hmm.
and then ultimately you need someone to make the almiras, to beautify the space, basically.
Got it.
So yeah, so that's when you start looking for people who can do this for you,
Hmm.
right? So you may have lots of time with you,
Hmm.
and you may not be worrying about the hassle. So you may go to a carpenter directly, but then there's lots of hassle in this. And with carpenter there are different things that, it's this whole field is full of
Yeah.
unskilled labor with a different mindset, with a different psychology. So they won't care, something is breaking, or then you call them, they won't even answer your calls. So all these things are happening when you're going with someone like a carpenter, and they won't even know thing about interior design. What
Hmm.
maximum they can do is, what you can show them pictures in isolation. Okay, I want this wardrobe, please
Sure.
build it for me. They may or may not build it with a good quality, and then they may or may not receive your calls after that. So
Sure.
I mean, that was the gap with the those are the indirect competitors, I would say.
Got
So
it.
and and when it is the direct competitors, like the big names, the brands already in the interior industry. But there also, when we did market research,
Hmm.
best place to do market research is Google these days. You see reviews everyone is giving, the
Sure.
clients are
Hmm.
giving.
Sure.
Yeah. So when we did market research, then we found out there were many things, which clients were unhappy about, even with the big players. So
Okay.
there are things like quality,
Hmm.
cost, and timelines.
Okay.
So that's what I thought. Okay, there are lots of gaps in the market,
Okay.
and we can fill those gaps, because at the end, what a client wants is a beautiful home, right? A place, because
Hmm.
home is very emotional deal for everyone. And someone who's buying a home and then spending money on interiors on it, they definitely want. I mean, it's not just financial; it's an emotional value, basically. So then they don't want to give it to, anyone who is, like, they do lots of research. Any
Sure.
client does a research, but in home market the clients do extensive research, and then they come to one particular person or one particular company.
Hmm.
So yeah, so the gaps which I thought, so we came up with the rules,
Okay.
which, which are the basics of our company. I call them CFT rule. So
Okay.
CFT actually refers to cubic feet also, which is
Okay.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
space.
Okay. Yeah.
I Yeah, so I think a space is not only, when I was saying that design a cupboard, so one cupboard.
Hmm.
Space is not just a cupboard. A
Okay.
space is a three-dimensional place, right? So that's why the name cubic feet. A
Okay.
three-dimensional place where floor, walls, ceiling, everything has to interact with each other, and
Got it.
then only it becomes beautiful.
Sure.
Then only then only it's called, it's crafted well, right? So
Uh,
yeah, so it's about a space. So
hmm.
that's how we came to the CFT rule, which was
Okay.
commitment.
Okay.
So there was a gap in the market on commitment.
Sure. Sure.
People will say this many number of days, and I said many challenges, and especially with the unskilled part of labor involved.
Sure.
So achieving that is a challenge. So commitment, what we are doing is, whatever we are committing, we are seeing to it that that commitment on the timeline, I'm saying mostly on the timeline, that
Mm,
commitment is met with. Okay.
mm,
Second thing which was lacking was flexibility. See, for commitment and for flexibility,
okay.
flexibility, uh, flexibility was something, people are, there are so many brands when it
Okay.
comes to interior design or interior execution. There are
Okay.
so many brands in the market,
Mm,
starting from your plywood, your, for example, the wardrobe that I can see in the picture also. So
sure.
there will be
Yeah.
plywood, there will
100%.
be laminate,
Mm,
something called laminate,
mm,
handles, then there will be hardware like how the door is attached.
ah,
It's called hinges.
mm,
So there are lots of things in the interior industry, lots of materials involved.
mm,
So some brands, they will just say, okay, this is the brand we use.
okay.
This is the only brand we use, and that's how we go ahead with it. But
Mm,
then I thought, okay, flexibility is required. A customer requires flexibility, not just in materials, in design as well. So
okay.
some people think, especially the big players that I was talking about, they're
Mm,
into modularity. We are also into modular designs, but they have a fixed set of designs that you can
okay.
choose from.
There's no option of customization.
Customization, exactly. So that's what we thought, okay, we'll bring in more customization, more
Okay.
customized designs,
Sure.
or a chance for a client to use customized materials.
Mm,
Okay, sometimes some big things in a big brand, German brand of hardware, it will cost you a lot. And
sure.
similar thing in an Indian brand will
Mm,
cost you very, very less. It will be like almost one third the price. And
mm,
that's what I'm talking about, price in 1 lakh for one accessory.
got it.
Okay.
Mm,
So that much money you can save when you're using an Indian brand, and which is well, I mean, which is tried and tested.
got it.
So why
Correct.
not use that brand in the bigger things? In the maximum things like hinges and all, we can use the German brands, no problem. So we started providing clients with flexibility.
Ah,
And third part was transparency.
ah,
That was the major thing, T for transparency.
sure. Sure.
So there is a major lack of transparency
Mm,
in this industry.
okay.
So we started giving transparency right from our quotation itself. So the way our quotations are framed, very clearly written what brand will be used, and we
Okay.
try a lot that the base rate is never changed. Of course, if client adds to
Sure.
something like you
Yeah.
wanted a wardrobe, now you want a TV unit also, then the client also understands
That
that
is
that's a
genuine.
separate new thing,
Yeah.
right? But the main square feet rate,
Mm-hmm.
we try not to increase that rate, what was
Mm-hmm.
fixed during the discussions.
Okay.
Lots of problems also we still are facing,
Sure.
especially in the
100%. Man.
current scenario.
It's still
Yeah,
still a new company only, we should say. But yeah,
yeah,
growing, or definitely growing at a high
yeah,
pace. So first thing which comes in my mind right now is, after listening all this, is what, like, for any industry, or for any industry, for example, is it e-commerce, or say specifically jewelry or something, they have one strong channel of marketing. Okay. For example, for
yes.
e-commerce, as I know, it's completely digital marketing. Okay. If you're not a digital marketer, stop e-commerce. Okay. So
Yes.
for example, in the jewelry, it's a strong game of word of mouth. Okay.
Hmm.
That works
Hmm.
like that. Okay. You can't, if you're not being, best at it, then day, year or 2 years, you'll thrown out of the industry. So what is,
Yes.
in this industry which you are working, what is the biggest channel for marketing? Like, biggest way to market your
Yes. So yeah, so it's same as jewelry market actually.
word of
It's
mouth.
word of mouth.
Okay, okay.
That's a very strong channel, especially when you are in the beginning phase.
Hmm.
So fortunately or unfortunately, that's the main channel. So no matter how much ads you do on the social media, we have
uh,
tried everything. But
uh,
now with word of mouth, we are getting so many projects that we have to halt all other marketing channels.
but the problem with
We
word of mouth is it takes
Yeah,
time, right?
it takes time. It takes time. But in this industry, that's the
Only way.
especially in the beginning.
Okay.
Especially in the beginning, that's the only way forward. Because
Correct.
otherwise, clients will ask you to show. Let's say you have started this business, interior
Yeah.
business,
Correct.
or you are going to some company to get interiors done for your home.
Mm-hmm.
So you will want uh, them to provide something authentic. Why
Okay.
would you want to risk your home with a
Correct.
new
Correct.
person
100%
in the
agree.
market?
Mm.
Most of the people spend their lifetime savings on a home. So
Mm.
why would you want to trust a new person,
Got it.
right? Whatever marketing you are doing,
So initially it
whatever,
becomes very difficult, right?
yes, whatever 3D views you are creating,
Ah.
what is the a marketer tool in our industry is 3D views. If you don't have anything, if you're starting the business, you don't
Ah.
have anything with you, what do you have? You can just create a 3D view, a 3D picture,
Okay.
and then just market it online.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're using the digital platform, forget about word of mouth. You're
Mm.
marketing it online on the basis of these 3D views.
Got it.
But then clients,
Sure.
because they know you are a new person in the market,
Mm-hmm.
they may not just believe on those 3D views. They will ask
Okay.
you to show your work.
Okay.
At least if it's not by word of mouth, they'll if someone is coming through the digital platform, they'll
Mm.
ask you, okay, can I see your work?
Okay.
How many projects you have executed? They ask all these questions. So even though to showcase your work, what we did was we luckily did early diversification. As I
Okay.
told you, we started with commercial. There are two based on end users. There
Mm-hmm.
are the industry is divided into two parts.
Okay.
One is residential interiors,
One is
those are
commercial.
the homes.
Mm.
Other is the commercial interiors, which are like shops, offices, and all. So I
Got it.
started with office. Right, I started the company with the office, who gave me for space
Mm-hmm.
planning, and I did
Got it.
some execution, which was not directly under me but consultancy.
Mm-hmm.
Then, fortunately, we did early diversification,
Okay.
and we thought, okay, then that's when I came to know about the gaps, and I thought these
Uh,
gaps are more than in commercial market; it's
mm-hmm.
more in the residential market.
Got it.
So we did early diversification. Okay, we will do residential projects.
Mm-hmm.
For that, again, we didn't have any other channel. We did
Okay.
3D views. We tried online marketing,
Okay.
but then we were faced. We faced all these questions. Can
Mm-hmm.
I see any project? So to
Mm-hmm.
overcome that, we thought, okay, we'll open a design studio. At
Okay.
least there is a place,
Uh-huh.
which provides some kind of credibility and authenticity to the client, that okay, this is a well established firm. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to any random person and getting my home done.
Sure.
So it was not just an office. We also did some places to showcase our work. I
Okay.
mean, like we made a sample model kitchen, we made a model bedroom to
Mm-hmm.
showcase the work. But still, when they used to come to, even with walk-ins and all that,
Mm-hmm.
still people ask these questions. Why? Oh, can we see anything where you have worked? Although the that thing was right in front of them.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
That was the studio. That was sample. There were model kitchens, model bedrooms. Still, they wanted to see if we have done any work. So that's how slowly it
You
became.
tell.
I mean, through this, yeah, through the word of mouth only, it picked up. Fine. We
Shivali,
tried another channel.
actually, I was thinking, because word of mouth couldn't be what should I say, a strategic approach to market, right? Means
Yes, yes,
it comes with a certain kind of experience or a certain kind of the work you have done. But what could be the strategic way of, planning any marketing way in this field? Maybe if you can tie up with new flats coming in or a new
yes,
commercial property getting built up,
yes,
yeah, by connecting with builders, tying up with them, uh,
yeah,
does that work or is it just the word of mouth?
yeah. That's what we tried next after
Okay,
the design studio.
sure.
Yeah, after the design studio, that's what we tried next,
Hmm.
was going to builders.
Uh,
Going to builders, tying up with them,
how
offering them some
how does
percentage
that work?
margins.
How does that work? Means because they
They,
I'm damn sure I'm not in this industry, but I'm damn sure they'll be off. offered by a lot of other companies as well.
Yes,
So how does that work?
yes.
You have to give them
So
better margin or
most
what?
so most of the builders were reluctant actually.
Okay.
So somehow they were reluctant because there are many biases I feel in this field. It's a male dominated field, first of all. So
We'll
there are
come to
many
that. We'll
biases.
come to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So not only on gender, age, many biases are there.
Okay.
So they were kind of reluctant.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were new in the field. Although I had to call my brother,
Okay.
and then we were going together to the builders.
Okay. Okay.
And somehow they said we already have tie-ups. We
Uh,
already, yes, our model flat is done by someone else. So
mm-hmm.
we are giving work to them. So these were the main answers that we received. Although, and we couldn't see, we were new in the market and we couldn't keep our margins too high. Still, our margins are not that high. So, if we couldn't keep the margins high, how much we can pay them? A
Makes
company
sense.
also has to sustain. Yeah. So
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So even though how much ever we offered, it was always less than the existing players in the market,
Mm-hmm.
especially the big ones
Sure.
who have funding, who have everything. So again, that was also another challenge. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't succeed in it in the beginning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, are you
But for
able to
creating
convince
word of
builders? Now, are you
now
able
we
to?
don't want to convince them.
Okay, the game plan has
Yeah.
changed. People has
Yes,
changed.
now it is changed.
Right.
Yes.
So
Now
those people
yeah.
are approaching
Now
you.
yes, now those people are approaching and we have to say no sometimes because
That's that
yeah,
that's how it
yeah.
works. Great man. So it's like I came up with this because I was thinking what could be the strategic approach. I'm not talking
Yes.
about you because for you took time. You build up few projects. You got some tie-ups initially. You did some consultancy initially. You got enough projects to create that word of mouth game.
Hmm.
Same thing I think about jewelry. My friend has a jewelry business. Whenever he meets me, he has a one serious problem with me. I always start that business topic because always want to learn about that industry, how to
Yes.
start, how to
Hmm.
start that industry. Everywhere you go, they are the players like 20 years. We are from 20 years. We are from 25 years,
Hmm.
30 years, 40 years. What if I want to start it today? How will that work? Because if this is a game of word of mouth, because nobody can buy a
Yeah.
jewelry, it's such a costly thing. I mean, jewelry as in not I'm
Hmm.
imitation jewelry. I'm not saying the proper gold
Yeah.
jewelry or the diamond jewelry or
Yes.
something of that sort. How can you trust somebody? How to
Yes.
start it. That's my problem. What could be the strategic approach? But lately, even after talking with you and even after talking with him everywhere, it says that you have to be quite a patient initially. Get
Yes.
get some customers, the create the affection with them, create the bond
Yes.
of trust with them, that they are so satisfied with your work that the one you
Hmm.
have provided is amazing that they can't uh, stop boasting about it, that they
Yes.
have to say it to other people. Yeah, this guys there, they worked on my home and now CPU so beautifully they've done.
Hmm.
They were so strict to
Hmm.
their deadlines, they were so strict to their quality. The work
Yeah.
is amazing. So you have to be patient. There's no other way around. Okay, until unless you have like lot of connection. Okay,
Hmm.
until unless, because this is the best scenario which we shouldn't talk about. We should talk about the worst case possible. If obviously you
Yeah.
have connection, then though there's the smoother way. Okay, if you have not,
Yeah.
then what could be the way is be patient.
Yeah.
Focus on
Be
your work.
patient. No. First thing is, as I said, have some things ready with you, like for this business,
Okay.
for the interiors business.
Mhm.
Have that 3D views and all ready with you.
Okay, to
So
show
that's a
customers.
tool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a tool.
Uh-huh.
And then a physical store. That's the investment you will require for this business, to
Hmm.
open a physical store where people can see things. See, out of 100, if 80 people are coming who are saying that what other things you have done, there still can be at least 20 people who can see that work, and they
Mhm.
will not ask those questions.
Physical
And
store
out
is
of
in
those
your
20
office, you are
people,
saying, or? anything.
Yes, office and showcase
Ah,
studio.
okay,
You need a showcase studio. Just a simple office will not work.
sure.
You will need a studio where you have created model spaces. Like this is a model kitchen. So
Mm,
it gives confidence to a client that you can do that. You
mm,
can do the kitchen. So
makes sense.
unfortunately, in this industry, there is no other way.
Looks like a heavy
It,
investment, I
it's a
think.
yeah, it's a physical product
Okay.
that finally you are selling to them. So you have
Mm,
to showcase that product,
mm.
right?
And
So
this is such a high end, high so much money is involved that you can't just
yes,
show the picture and sell it to them.
yes, you can't, you can't.
You know,
No
you
one will
have
buy that.
to. Okay.
No one will buy just a picture.
It's
But
not
when you
investing
do,
1,000, 2,000 rupees. It's investment in
yes,
lakhs. So they have to see.
yes,
Okay, got it.
yes.
Got it.
So they can see the product. I mean, if you don't want to do a huge investment, do
Mm,
it in a smaller area. Do smaller showcase things like a small showcase kitchen, small showcase bedroom. That can just tell them that you can do this and show
mm,
them the 3D views.
mm. So
That
currently,
showcases your design capability.
okay. So currently, if I say Wellcraft Spaces is currently an interior designing company, is it, or something else? Would you frame it?
Yes, it's an interior design company, but
Okay.
end to end. End to end
Okay.
means
Complete.
starting from design,
Mm-hmm.
complete till execution,
Okay. Okay.
and doing everything for a space. Like as I said, not just one wardrobe,
Uh-huh.
completely modifying your space.
Hmm.
So that's why the name actually Wellcraft Spaces.
With the option
We
of
wanted to
customize.
be
With the option of
with
customize.
the option of yeah. So that's the crafting part of it actually. So
Sure.
crafting not only in design but
Mm-hmm.
in execution as well.
Mm. Got it. Got it. So first thing, if I would have like thought about going into this industry, which I should not because I have no idea about it. So if I would have like, then first thing comes in my mind is what is the capital needed? Approximate figure.
Hmm.
So would you like to say some any range of money you should have before you go into this field? Because it sounds like a lot of investment, lot of capital is needed. So what is it? What is the figure is approximately which you
Mhm.
should have
It
before you go
depends
into it?
actually. Yeah, it depends actually what is lot for. A lot differs from person to person, right? For
Okay.
some, maybe 5 lakhs will be a lot, and for some, maybe 1 crore
So
will be a lot.
irrespective
Yeah,
of a lot, irrespective of a lot,
yeah,
I'm just saying what is the minimum amount you should have because you need to create a design, you need to create a physical
yes,
space.
yes,
Everything online is cheap, but if you go into the physical
yeah.
space, money
Physical
comes in.
space. It's yes, yes. It
So
comes into
how much
definitely
is the
comes into
initial
picture.
budget is needed to start this certain kind of
Yeah. So I would say, see, again, it depends on time to time also. We
okay,
started in 2019 end,
sure,
and studio was complete by Jan 2020 is when we opened this design studio.
okay,
And then the story in March 2020 lockdown happened and all that.
uh,
That's a separate part. We can come
okay.
back to
We'll,
that as
we'll
well.
we'll discuss about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Because again, that added to the investment and all whatever
okay.
was required.
Okay.
So I would say at that time at least 15 lakhs of expenditure just
Mhm.
in setting up the space.
Okay.
And yeah, just 1 minute.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. So 15 around 15 lakhs of expenditure for setting up the physical space. And then you need to have the software licenses and all that.
Mhm.
The company, all the registrations of the company, at least
Okay.
even if it's a proprietorship, you need to have GST registration and all those things.
Mhm.
So adding all those things, and let's say you won't earn for at least 1 year.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you won't, I mean, that's the risk part of it,
Sure,
that you're thinking 1 year, at
sure.
least 1 year worth of saving you should have with you to pay the most of the times your office, it's the first office, it will be the space will be on rent or
100%.
lease,
Correct.
right? So you have to pay that, you have to pay the electricity bills. So again, depends what kind of rental space you have taken, where you have positioned your company. Is
Mm.
it ground floor, first floor, second floor? All these also matters, the type of building also, lots of things are involved. But
100%.
I'll still say and add another 15 lakhs.
Close to 30 lakhs, you're saying.
Okay. Close to 30 is what,
Okay.
at least for survival for a year
Okay.
without employees. Yeah.
That is
When
must.
otherwise salaries will come into picture. Yeah. If
Uh,
you have to do everything on your own, then at least
for
30 for a
so
year.
okay, got it. So what in case if somebody wants to confidently start with all the uh, experience, obviously that person should have, but plus other than
Hmm.
just confidence with the capital, they should have at least, if 30 is like just the benchmark, like the threshold point, uh, it should start with 40. At least it's a 40 45 lakh.
Yes,
At
yes,
least, at
yes.
least that is the amount, right?
At least, yeah.
Uh,
Or else, as I said, you should have a support system. If you don't have that much,
Support system as in
if you have
funding,
not
you're saying?
accumulated uh, funding, if you want to be a bootstrap, then also probably some family,
Oh, okay.
a family financial support.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Should be there.
someone you should have. Yeah, who you can fall back to.
So for this is not for like not for everybody, because initially not everybody is confident enough to invest 40 50 lakhs. This is a very big amount. So that's why not many players are there in this industry. That is one thing. And also, since you're completely bootstrapped, so it must be very difficult for you yourself also. There's a lot of capital you're putting in, because these days the game, we all know the game has changed. Everybody's lesser thinking from the earning from the customer. They are more thinking earning from the investors. Okay, you
Yes, yes.
take the money from the angel investors, dilute some shares, then series A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and everything will go on.
Mm-hmm.
VCs come in, micro VCs come in. That's the way of their earning. Majority of the company are
Yeah.
like not even profitable. So
Yes.
that is that
Yeah.
is that is
Right.
that is a picture. That is a quite complicated picture, but even
Yes.
the easier approach sounds like a easier
Yes.
approach. You went into the more
Yeah.
complicated approach where you put down your own hard-earned money.
Yeah.
That 40 50 lakh rupees
First
initially
work for it, then save for it, and then yeah,
makes sounds
use
like
your
a
partner savings also, and start the whole thing.
sounds like a very difficult thing, but yeah, it's a entrepreneur journey, man. It's never
Yeah.
gonna be easy. Never
It,
gonna be easy.
exactly. Exactly.
Got it, man. So currently, are you still working on your own, or you have formed a team, or what is it right now? What is the stage?
Yes. So we do have a team.
Okay,
Initially, of course, as I said, at least
sure.
for 1 year, and that 1 year got extended to, I think, 1.5 years for us because of COVID,
COVID.
new business,
How was
and
that
then
also?
this
Please
COVID.
include that also. Means like I might forget about asking, but this is the most important question. That since your
Yeah,
business is based on the physical thing, and COVID hit,
exactly.
dude.
Yes.
What happened? What happened then?
Yeah, that was the trickiest part actually. And it was for any business actually. No one knew what was happening, right? Not
Got
only business, government, us as an individual, human beings, no one
Mhm.
knew what's going to happen. I
Sure.
remember that time, the first lockdown when it happened, and people were thinking, okay, we don't know what is. I mean, there was no clarity as such. Now
Mhm.
we are still used to it, and now we know what are the some of the implications of this COVID.
Mhm.
But at that time, everyone was just so confused.
Mhm.
I think that's the most uncertain time that I have ever come across till now in my life. That, yeah, what is going to happen? No one knew.
Were you
No
getting
one knew.
projects at that time? Like, was it
No.
turned to
So,
zero, completely zero, or like minimum or something? What was the scene?
yeah, so what happens is in this industry, especially,
Uh-huh.
as you said, physical presence is very, very important.
Correct.
Construction or interior industry.
Mhm.
And you know what happened in March 2020 when the lockdown happened?
Mhm.
Especially our industries is dependent on lots of migrant laborers.
Mhm.
So, and then when this lockdown happened, and yeah, no one knew anything about it, and it just added to all the uncertainties, and it tested resiliency of the even of the bigger businesses. But for
Mhm.
a startup, where we have just opened, we have invested, and we opened opened a physical store in Jan 2020, and coming March, everything just shut
Okay.
down.
Okay.
And as I said, in our industry, we can't continue working. If it's a
Mm.
lockdown, it's a lockdown. We don't have that. We don't have that. और इसका ऑनलाइन वर्क फ्रॉम होम वाला वो हमें नहीं मिलता है, वो वरदान है फॉर द
Impossible.
आईटी इंडस्ट्री. Yeah,
Impossible.
yeah. Yeah, that's not for us. So
Uh,
first lockdown, yes, we thought, okay, we will do some upskilling.
mhm.
And we didn't have any employees at that time. It was
Okay.
me and my brother.
Mhm.
So then we started creating more and more 3D views. We've started focusing on the design part, that okay, we can design things. That's what we
Mhm.
will showcase to the customers.
Sure.
Slowly, when we were eased into the lockdown, people knew that okay, this will be lifted someday,
Mhm.
and we knew importance of a home was even more. It was even more concrete now to everyone, that we should
Mhm.
have a home, because it's that's something good that COVID brought for our industry. So people knew that now, they should have a home, because
Mhm.
paying rent, and if such uncertain times come, so they can't be dependent on paying rents all the time. So if they have their own home, and then work from home was more prominent, becoming more and more prominent for the IT industry.
Mhm.
So a new thing came up: home office. Everyone wanted to have a home office, or at least one desk, two desks in their home, which was
Mhm.
never to be heard of earlier.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah, some things changed, and slowly it increased the demand also for having a home. And we know, if builders are selling the apartments,
Mhm.
of course the demand for interior will also come back.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, so that's why we just at that time we just did some 3D views, did some more of online digital marketing
Mhm.
on those 3D views itself.
Okay.
And then we have a background, like my father is doing contracting in the north, and he also does some homes also in between. So we
Okay.
had some references, some pictures. Okay, we have done this back in the north, we have the expertise. So
Mhm.
somehow we were trying to connect that to build more authenticity. Yeah.
Sure.
And during the end part of the lockdown, luckily, the builder tie-ups were not working, but network was working. So
Okay.
I had network. I had worked in the industry. I had my own set of people. And
Mhm.
one of the friends' flat, they
Okay.
got possession in that time uh, for the flat. And
Sure.
it was in a very good society. It was
Uh,
in a branded society. And we did so again, it's answering your last question also. So if
mhm.
you get a work in the beginning,
Mhm.
that getting the work is difficult, but then you put up all your efforts,
Mhm.
for quality, timeline, cost also
Mhm.
in that part. Maybe you don't earn a margin or earn minimal margin,
Sure.
then just do it for them. It was anyways a friend's home.
Mhm.
So we did that home. I mean, we at least did design for that home in the lockdown period, first lockdown. And
Okay.
only after lockdown, our industry, as I said, we can't work in lockdowns. Only after lockdown was lifted, so we got the people back, and we just started the work on that apartment. And from that apartment, actually, in that society, we are still today, in today's date also, we are doing two flats in that society. And
Mhm.
although it's in the, I mean, the possession has already happened for all the flats. It's in the end part of the journey of building, but
Mhm.
we are still doing flats in that society. So from that one home, which we
Mhm.
used as a showcase also to next customers, so
Sure.
from that one home we could do many in that society.
Mhm. Makes sense. Must be difficult. Must be difficult at that time, but you somehow able to,
COVID was,
yeah.
somehow we managed it because we didn't have too much of fixed expenses.
Uh, got it. Got it. Got it.
So I
And
think
what about the
that's the
team?
only way. Team, yes, the
Currently,
team.
how many guys are there working with you?
Currently, it's still a small team.
Sure.
Currently, it's six other than me,
Okay.
six permanent employees. Then we
Okay.
have tie-ups. We have tie-ups with freelancers. We have tie-ups with factories, and then there is lots of unskilled labor involved. I'm
Okay.
not counting them in this six. This six is
Sure.
just my set of
Uh-huh.
people who are in the office or on site for
Hmm.
the company. Other
Okay.
than that, yes, lots carpenters, electricians. We have teams for everything.
Sure. So let's come to the for me the most awaited and the final question for this podcast to discuss. Like you must be getting a lot of question like this, being a female entrepreneur and how's the scene, how's
Mhm.
the difficulty, what's the bitter truth about it? Is it really very difficult? And if it's that difficult, how you're able to manage and how you're able to answer them? Yeah, I am a
Mhm.
female entrepreneur, but you shouldn't point out to me in that way that isn't that
Yeah.
a different thing. Why would you go into gender? Entrepreneur is entrepreneur, no?
Yes.
Everybody has spirit to work
Yes.
hard. So how do you handle this type of things?
Yeah. So see, one thing is, I think I'm not sure how many in the other fields, how much of this pressure a female entrepreneur is facing. But in our field, it's a tad bit more because, as I said, the field is involved. It's dependent on unskilled labor. They come from a different mindset, a different psychology. Still there is lots of awareness happening in the
Mm,
corporates, female empowerment is happening, of course.
sure.
So there I feel it's still getting a little easier, but
Mhm.
in fields like us, although we are trained from the beginning, intentionally or unintentionally, for example,
Sure.
in schools
Got your
or
point. Yeah,
colleges,
got
yeah,
your point.
in colleges we are in civil or this construction management college, we have what, like seven females in a batch of 100. So we are
Okay.
used to that thing. Yeah, so we are used to the
Okay, yeah, the first
thing.
question I should have asked that you have given civil, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay, got
I
it.
can say.
Oh,
Yeah,
still
so
seven is a high number, man. In my college,
yeah,
it was
it's a
like
high number I'm talking about.
one out of 60, 70, man. Okay, got it. Yeah. Please continue.
Yeah, in my undergrad college it was like 4 out of 85, but maybe it was construction plus management, so it was 7 out of 100. So yeah, so we are somehow used to, our brain is conditioned to be working, with a male domination maybe around.
Okay.
But those people, I mean, students being students, they are or being educated, or I don't know how to put it, but
Got
yes,
it. I
their
am completely
psychology is
understand.
totally
Completely
different.
understand. Yeah.
Their psychology is totally different. But
Yeah.
when it comes to a laborer working on site,
Hmm.
okay, some of them may be fine, but most of them, they feel they have never been in any area or any field where females are even equal.
Hmm.
You forget about females being dominant or in a power position,
Hmm.
but females are not even equal,
Hmm.
right? So they don't come from that mindset.
Hmm.
So proving to them, it will be a huge task and a waste of energy, I feel, if you just
Agree.
want to prove to people that you are in this power position. And so I don't proceed that way. What I feel is, because I have done all the groundwork myself, most of the entrepreneurs, they do the groundwork themselves, at least in the first year, wearing the hats of different people, being it
Sure.
accountant.
100%.
Yeah, so lots of things, everything they do themselves. I used to stand on sites, I used to stand in the factory all
Hmm.
day, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
So I learned first.
Hmm.
I know the psychology of these people, and then I thought knowledge is the key.
Hmm.
That's what I can use as a tool, not to prove myself,
Hmm.
but to handle them.
Uh,
Once they know that, okay, slowly, once they know that, okay, this person has a knowledge, male or female,
hmm.
it's not just a gender bias, I'll tell you, in the industry, it's
Okay.
age bias as well. It's
Experience.
age bias as well. Yeah. They feel that, even the carpenters or whoever is coming, they feel they have started working at the age of 14 maybe.
uh,
So they feel they are having 15, 20 years of experience, and what this person has just come yesterday. That's how the mentality works, that they
mm,
have just come yesterday in the field, and how that person can teach. And when it's a female, it just adds to that thing,
okay, there's one
how
layer
a
more to it.
female can teach me. Yeah.
Mm,
So for that, I think knowledge is the only thing that you can throw back at them. Okay,
mm,
once they know, and once you, because you have done the groundwork, so I can tell them when I go to site, I can tell them, even if it's a new carpenter who may be having that mindset, and once I start telling them things, that okay, this is not joined in a proper position, then they will give multiple excuses, is how this industry works. They'll give you multiple excuses why it is like that, why it is joined like that,
mm.
and then I give them the solution. That
Got it.
no, this is not joined in the correct way. Whatever excuses you are saying, forget about that. Join it like this, it will be better.
Mm.
And slowly you earn that,
Respect.
maybe respect or not, I don't know, but yeah, you don't you
Yeah.
don't demand respect, you command respect.
Uh,
I think that's how it works in the whole industry, be it, as I said, a gender bias or an age bias.
got it. Got it. Getting your point, man. But still, I shouldn't say that I can, understand what you're going through. But until unless being exactly in your situation, in your food, then only I'll get to know what exactly it feels like and what
Yeah.
exactly you
Yeah.
go through and manage and everything.
Yeah,
Definitely.
actually, it's a message. Yeah,
Uh,
actually, it's a message to all women entrepreneurs, maybe who are watching the channel,
sure.
that you are way more strong than even you think you are.
Uh,
Okay, because yeah, I am almost entering my ninth month of pregnancy, and I am still visiting sites.
mm,
If I was in a job, maybe I would have gone on a maternity leave, because I might not have known how strong I am.
mm.
Right? You said in the beginning, you're pushed into the situation. Maybe you would
Find some
you
way
would
to,
you would come out of it,
agree.
find some way to out of it. So the same thing I am doing, with people telling, with everyone, my loved ones telling me not to go to site, not to take so much stress. Business comes with a stress,
Agree.
but I'm managing all that, and I think I can manage. I think all the women can manage. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Wonderful. Because the first thing which I was thinking when you were saying that you have like when you were explaining that particular carpenter that this is what you have to do, then he's thinking like why would this girl or guy explaining it to me? I definitely have way more
Yeah.
experience than he is,
Yes.
even more experience than his age. Okay, so
Yeah.
how this guy girl can come and teach me something?
Yes.
This like goes to two way of handling this particular scenario. Somebody becomes rude, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one
Yes.
way. Two second way is
Yes.
gradually, you know earned respect. Yeah, maybe command respect, as you
Yeah.
have said, that
Yeah.
direct them, be polite, extremely polite with them. Yeah, please
Yes.
give it a try, please give it a try. I'm just saying na, because give them, as much information you have, like, if you will do that, that will happen, because that, but that
Hmm.
need patience. Not
That needs
everybody has it.
patience.
Easiest way is to become rude.
Yeah.
Easiest way is become rude.
There is
Just do it.
another way, actually, when
Okay.
even when you're polite. So what you can do is you empathize with them first. That's what I
Uh,
do. I
okay.
empathize with them first.
Mhm.
First, only whatever he's thinking, I'll say that. I'll just say that, okay, I know आपको बहुत experience है.
So you guys come to the same page.
Yeah, so
Uh,
that's how I try to manage it. आपको बहुत experience है, आप तो करते रहते हो दिन रात, but एक बार ये भी try कर लो. Maybe it works. Okay, doesn't work, I'll pay you for it.
hmm,
So little bit, be more uh, be more persistent on your point, but
hmm,
at the same time you empathize with them.
hmm.
So try to manage this, create a win-win situation.
Create a win-win situation in certain way that sometimes you are putting your point and sometimes also agree to his point also. Sometimes, give
Yes.
it, give
Right. Right.
him that dignity that obviously he has way more
Yes.
experience than if he is saying sometimes, okay, if आपको सही लगता है आप
Huh.
करो, ठीक है.
Right.
You can
Right.
give so that they can also feel, yeah, it's not like he is
Hmm.
dominating. He's like, he,
नहीं, ask
you
for
know,
their
parallel.
opinion also.
Uh,
Ask for their opinion also. आपको क्या लगता है कैसे सही हो जाएगा? सही हो जाएगा, मुझे पता है सही हो जाएगा। आपको कैसे लगता है कैसे सही होगा?
uh,
आपको, आपके लिए आसान क्या है? So
hmm.
all these things slowly, with maybe with experience, dealing with
Definitely,
people, you
definitely.
gain that experience. Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Never, never, ever, ever in your life gonna face this kind of scenario in jobs. Okay, you
Yes.
got a
Yes.
very,
Very true. Very true.
amazing,
Comfortable
relaxed.
environment.
See,
Yeah.
in your case, you're gonna go. You have to go to site also in job, no? For me,
Yes.
I'm a software engineer. Okay, we have to sit in a cubicle in a central AC environment, and everybody is
Yeah.
talking. We are like sitting in the chair, and this is what we have to do the entire day. Okay, we
Yeah.
can't even think about such kind of scenarios. So they're completely different. So a lot of leader. I'll be honest with you. I'm not flattering. Lot of leader plus lot of positive vibes are coming from you. That when you talk to
Thank
person,
you so much.
when
Yeah.
you talk to person, you feel like there's a different kind of energy that person has. Maybe she
Mhm.
is not sharing, not throwing everything out, but you feel like that something that fire inside that person is always even if you go to
Yes.
any difficult scenario, you'll come up with something and you'll fight for it. If it's being a problem related to pregnancy related to COVID, related to female entrepreneur, related to anything, you'll fight and you'll find the way. You won't be, raising your hands and surrender. You'll be like, hey, I am here and I'm gonna stay here for my life.
Yeah. That's,
You throw the
yeah.
problem, I'll show how to handle it. That's
Yeah.
that's what the
That's what
attitude is.
most of the businesses, yeah, most of the businesses, I think,
Sure,
successful businesses, of course, they
100%.
go through it. They go through it, male or female, they go through it every day. Every day you feel, okay, especially in the beginning, that, okay, shall I quit? Is it even worth it?
Sure,
Yeah.
definitely,
Every day, almost every day,
definitely.
you have that feeling. And shall I just, raise my hands and just get out of this business?
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone has those thoughts.
Hmm.
So yeah, it reminds me of a very good story. I don't know if you have time, but quickly I'll put it
Please
to
tell,
you.
please. Yeah, we have
So
enough time. Please tell. Sure.
yeah, so I was, as I said,
Hmm.
everyone gets those thoughts.
Ah,
So I was standing in my balcony and I was, just sipping a cup of tea, and I was feeling that, okay, should I mean, is it even worth it? So I was thinking that thing. So
mhm,
somehow I just saw one lady downstairs. I mean, I'm on 11th floor, so I couldn't see that properly.
mhm,
But I was seeing a lady, a poor lady. There are some slums beside. So there's and a cow. They were walking. So cow was again and again stopping and just looking back at her and doing like things like this
mhm.
with the horns and all that. I would have got I would get scared of the
Sure. Hmm.
horns of the cow. But
Hmm.
that lady was still after her. Then I realized, okay, she was holding a rope of the cow, and the
Mhm,
cow was a bit reluctant to go, and
mhm,
she was trying to tie her to a pole. There was a pole over there, and she finally, that lady, because she was persistent enough, so
hmm,
she just took the cow. Doesn't matter how many times the cow threatened her, how many times the cow stopped in between.
hmm.
She had to take that cow and tie it to that pole, and she
Wonderful.
did it.
Wonderful.
Right? So, yeah, so I was thinking, okay, this is what it is, right? Every time some challenge, some or other challenge, especially with us, we are very, very client focused
Hmm.
company. So
Sure.
sometimes out of 100 clients, one client is there who is, taking advantage of that, and
Sure.
who is creating that, I'm not having that peace of mind with me. But
Hmm.
it's fine. The
Hmm.
cow will stop in between. The cow will threaten me.
Okay.
I have to tie
Persist.
that cow.
This
Yeah.
this is what I also think, because being persistent or
Yeah.
consistency is the key.
Yes.
Is the key.
Yes.
Means even if you think you are like brilliant at something, if you're not consistent enough to do it again and again and again and again every
Yes.
day, being
Yeah.
patient of like even sometimes results are not right or what you have thought,
Yeah.
the intent and impact, that gap is a huge thing. you have to fight for it. You have to wait, you have to be
Yes.
patient. All the good terms that you hear,
Hmm.
hard work, persistence, consistency, patience, perseverance,
Focus.
everything,
Yeah.
everything is needed in the journey of an entrepreneur. So
Correct.
that's
Correct.
what it is. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like let's wrap it up over here only. It was
Sure.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful talking to you, man. And I'm not
Same
sure
here,
about
Nitish. Yeah.
I'm not sure about the audience. I definitely got a lot from you and definitely learned a lot from your life and your journey. And it's definitely amazing. And I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors.
Thank
And
you. And all the best for your upcoming adventure as well.
sure, man.
It
Thank you
will be
so
a roller coaster ride. Be prepared for
definitely,
it.
definitely. I am 100% prepared. Sure, thank you
Great.
so much.
Great.
So,
Thank
uh,
you. Yeah.
yeah. So first, just wanted to ask: is it like if you want to say something about our show? Is it good, bad, terribly bad, worst? How was it? How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot, and I would suggest people to, yes, hit the bell icon.
Ah,
I do
nice.
it for my channel also. Yeah, please subscribe to this if you want to hear more about, entrepreneurship. I think you're doing a great job. People don't learn this in colleges.
Hmm.
If they are getting a first-hand experience from people who are starting or who are established, it's a great opportunity for everyone. So please do that for
Thank
Nitish.
you so much, Ravi. Thank you so much. So
Yeah,
let's wrap it up completely over here only. Thank you so much,
sure.
guys, for watching. If you have watched till now, definitely you're enjoying it. So you have to hit like, share, and subscribe. That's the drill. Everybody knows it. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.